What is up, everybody? It's Justin Parnell back again with another MTG Arena free-to-play episode for our series. Goal is to not spend any money on the game and see what we can do. We're going to be playing Constructed this week, so if you want to see more content like this, please be sure to subscribe to this channel, like this video, comment on this video if you don't mind. It's always nice when we get some interaction from everybody. If you want to listen to the Thinktwice podcast, you can search Thinktwice MTG on Google Play Music, SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, and now Spotify. Of course, you can find it on YouTube here as well. If you want to support the show, go to patreon.com/thinktwicemtg. Now, customarily, what we like to do when we're starting one of these episodes for the constructed portions is open packs that we did last week. So, as a lot of you know, we were gifted some packs from being a featured streamer on the early access event. We got 30 of those packs. Every week we're going to open 5. So 5 of these 30 packs we've earned over the last week from getting our 3 free packs for the week, as well as the last draft that we did. So that's 5 packs, then we're going to open another 5. So we're going to open 10 of these packs. And this should represent about what you can get if you're grinding hard and getting every single ounce of value you possibly can. So we're, instead of opening 10, we're going to open one by one because the commons and the uncommons for us are relevant. Okay. Status and statue is a solid uncommon. Steam Vents, excellent. We last played a Is It deck for the constructed portion a couple of weeks ago, so this will go nicely as we continue to upgrade that. Lands are always great. Building your land base is great. 2 solid uncommons, a common wild card, which is not bad, and a rare wild card. Excellent. All right, so we're 2 for 2 on very useful things. All right, this pack gets us our 4th Crackling Drake and an uncommon wild card and a Sinister Sabotage. Wow. Strong pack. Row plus a Crackling Drake plus Sinister Sabotage. This is pretty much a dream pack for free to play. Justice Strike. That's a solid removal spell. Lighted Legion. Okay, that's not going to be anything that's too useful, but you can't get too upset with what we've opened so far. Chemist's Insight. That's another good one. Runaway Steamkin. That is a very good one as well. If we're looking to play mono red, you're going to need these. Okay, 5 down. This next pack will get us another rare wild card. So happy for that. And an uncommon wild card, which is great. And a Dawn of Hope. So this is not super great in constructed. It's playable, but more for singleton or kind of other formats that come up. Sporadic Renewal is good. Erratic Cyclops, also not super great. Okay, neither of these two are good. We don't really worry about commons as much. Midnight Reaper, I actually don't mind this card. I think it's constructed playable as in small numbers in a deck. I think some Golgari decks have played it. Not exactly one you necessarily need. Integrity and Intervention is good. We got another uncommon wild card, by the way. Invert and Invent, some sort of combo deck at some point. And this is actually our 4th Night of Autumn, which is great. Okay, Lava Coil. We don't have any of these yet, so that's a great pickup. Common wild card and a Blood Operative. I actually like this card. I think it's pretty good. So let's head over to our collection here. And I wish there was a way to show what we had picked up recently. At this point, we do have 8 rare wild cards, 3 mythic wild cards, and a bunch of commons and uncommons. So should have just loaded the deck that we had been playing, that we played last time. I did slightly update. I crafted 1 more Enigma Drake and crafted 1 more Crackling Drake. Open the Niv Mizzet, so we're kind of in the Drakes type of deck here. And at this point, we just opened our 4th Crackling Drake. So for this deck, we can add that to this deck but I kind of want to see what else we can make. We picked up another RAL, which is super great. A note about wildcards. For using wildcards, you, if possible, and this isn't always possible, but you want to avoid using wildcards on cards in packs that you're getting for free. So right now that's Guilds of Ravnica. I think this search, yeah, so E, because obviously set means E, Guilds of Ravnica. Let's look at our rares and mythics across the board for Guilds of Ravnica, which we do have a solid amount of. We have a Runaway Steamkin, we have an Experimental Frenzy, we have 3 Pelt Collectors, 1 Nullhide Ferox, we have 2 Rals now, we have 2 Niv Mizzet, we have 2 Assassin's Trophy, we have a Fine Finality, 2 Vraska, Swiftblade Vindicator, 4 Knight of Autumn through opening and drafting, and then a handful of duel lands. We have Steam Vents, 2 Sacred Foundry, and a Steam Vents. There's still a lot of rares that we don't have. Fortunately, and of course mythics, like Doom Whisperer is a good one we don't have. All of these are good ones that we don't have. Legion Warboss, Risk Factor, Arc-like Phoenix. None of these are... I do think Thief's Sanity is good, but it doesn't seem like it's necessary right now. I do like Ionize. I do like Expansion Explosion. I do like Azani in small numbers, Deafening Clarion. Aurelia, Tristani, and March of the Multitudes are all mythics to a lesser degree. And then, of course, the lands are good. So, I don't want to say don't craft these, but something that feels really bad is crafting 4 of something and then opening another one in a pack. And since the developers for MTG Arena have not come up with a consistent solution for how they're going to handle that, I can't recommend anyone craft 4 of something. I think you can craft 3 of something. 2 of something is totally safe. I think 3 of something is largely safe. But going to 4 of something and then opening in a pack, awful. It feels so miserable. The vault, which is a lot of players don't even know about, when you get the 5th copy of a card, either through pack opening or through limited, it goes immediately to the vault, which is this kind of hidden thing that after a certain number of cards that you already have opened in your collection for 5th plus copies, you can open, and it gives you a couple of rare wild cards, a mythic wild card, and 3 uncommon wild cards. It feels pretty bad because opening 5th copies of cards is obviously significantly more valuable than any of those, and you basically get nothing for it. So that's basically the worst thing that you can feel in MTG Arena as far as I'm concerned. For us, we're to the point where we're not really encountering that, because even like uncommons, like eventually I'm going to open another Crackling Drake, and I crafted one, so that's a wild card down the tube, which is crappy. It doesn't feel good. So we are going to always keep that in mind. We're never going to craft, especially for a mythic rare, we can't craft 4, because that's just such a loss in using a mythic wild card and then opening a 4th copy of a card. Now, other cards in other sets aren't as bad, right? There's all these other cards that are excellent that we're not really going to open in packs. History of Benalia, Lyra Dawnbringer, honestly, any number of Planeswalkers, anything that's not in the pack that you're opening. Sarkhan Fireblood, more Rekindling Phoenix. Carnage Tyrant is a very good one. Vivian Reed is a good one. And then, of course, Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, is arguably one of the best ones. And that's probably about it for things that you're really looking at. Maybe Nicol Bolas the Ravager, but you really need a lot of lands to be able to play him solidly. Karn is pretty solid. So there are a lot of things that are outside of Guilds of Ravnica for you to craft. But what we're going to do today is I'm going to kind of pause on my side and kind of examine my collection and see what we can make as far as forming it to be a, not necessarily a tier 1 deck, but maybe a tier 2 deck, and kind of work up to that tier 1 deck with what we got. So I'm going to take a quick break and come back in just a minute and see what we're working with. I've evaluated the collection and I'm ready to spend a few wild cards. And what I have here is a deck that I've created that is similar to the Golgari midrange deck. Now, you'll notice there's some slots that are missing, but that's what we're going to use our wild cards on. The good thing about the Golgari midrange deck is it's proven to be very powerful, and you don't necessarily have to have the specific, I guess, the specific setup. There's been a lot of these that have been successful, as long as you're kind of working with the curve and operating as a value deck that has a few planeswalkers in it, you usually end up okay. So what we're going to do is we're at 44 cards right now, and we're going to use some wild cards. We're going to use as few high-end wild cards as possible, so we're going to avoid using any mythic rares. So the first thing that we're going to do is add the Explore package. I've already have the Path of Discovery and a Jadelight Ranger. I'm going to make 2 more Jadelight Rangers. 1, 2. All of these decks play 4 Jadelight Rangers, but I want to avoid getting a 4th one in case I get one as an individual card reward. It feels really bad to get 4th of something and not be able to use it. So since obviously we're trying to play for free, that's something that is meaningful specifically to us. Next thing we're going to do is find our Seeker Squire. We're going to make 3 of those. And going through uncommon wild cards doesn't feel as bad. You get those pretty regularly. So we're going to add 3 of those. Last, specifically black card. We want another Ravenous Chupacabra. Make one of those, old Choopy boy. And I think we want to have one more Golgari Findbroker, even though this is not something I'm really excited to do because I don't think we're going to play more than 2 of these ever. So we're going to eventually get these in our collection. But either way, it is just an uncommon wild card, so we'll add 1 more. And then we're going to add a single... the Eldest Reborn, if we can get to it. Should be on this next page. Here we are. 1 Eldest Reborn. You want to see how many wild cards you have up here. So we have 7 more uncommons. So we're going to go to green. And we're going to add some Merfolk Branch Finder. And I may end up making 4th of these if we can't fill out the deck list appropriately. Let's see. The last thing that we're gonna do is we need to get Wild Growth Walker in here. Okay, 1 Wild Growth Walker, and we're gonna make 2 more of these. So 1. 2. Okay, filling out our curve nicely, added a lot of 2-drops. The last thing that we want to add is 1 more Find and Finality, another rare wild card, which we're not super excited to use, but this is a very good card. So, and even if we open more of these, we could certainly, I would play more of these if we had more. So this is 59 cards, and as you'll see, I've added some cards in the collection that kind of go with the general theme that we're doing. Plague Crafter, for 1, can be returned with Eldritch Reborn, just a general good removal spell. We can find it with our Vivian Reed. So that's just another grindy card. The Path of Discovery to go with our Wild Growth Walkers. We have a Tendershoot Dryad and a Carnage Tyrant main. So we're at 59 cards, so at this point we really just want to add a high impact card somewhere Can even be the top of the curve. Probably something because oftentimes these deck play Doom Whisperer, so probably something. Probably want to avoid using any more wild cards for now. Something that can provide us with some card advantage in black or green. Twilight Prophet might be a good one. We'll add that and see if we find anything else. I actually do think Open the Graves is interesting. Actually, I think Midnight Reaper could be interesting too. We'll probably try it like this and maybe add a single Midnight Reaper. Twilight Prophet is similar though. A little bit harder to kill. And we're just going to go through green and make sure that there's not a value generating card that outside of what we already have. We don't want the Ferox because we want to be able to cast our few spells. And looks like not. A removal spell that we're not going to want to use. Slimefoot's interesting. Molder Hulk we might do if we had Memorial to Folly, which we don't have. At some point we're going to make a deck with these 4 Knight of Autumns that we have. Okay. So, looks like we're going to stick with this. We don't... Our mana base is very poor. We don't have any Overgrown Tomb. We're not going to spend anything on them. Thank goodness we've opened 3 of these Guild Mages forums, but either way, so we're going to stick with this. It looks pretty similar to the Golgari midrange deck that's being played regularly right now, so we're going to head into a constructed event, pay our 500 gold, select Golgari midrange, and see what we can do. Alright, game 1 with Golgari midrange. This hand looks really great, actually. So, we're going to keep this. We have our Path of Discovery and Wildgrowth Walker, so that will be nice. Our Golgari Fine Broker is going to do a great Eternal Witness impression with this deck, where everything except for, I don't know, 5-6 cards are permanents. So let's actually go ahead and get the Wildgrowth Walker out. We can start exploring next turn since we have a land that we are prepared to play. And it could be that our opponent is going to have a difficult time with our Wildgrowth Walker here. Let's draw this. If our opponent's playing green-white, then that's likely going to be difficult for them. No need for us to attack. We'll play our Jade Light Ranger next turn, along with likely another Golgari Guildgate. Satyr Enchanter, okay. Find and Finality. We're going to bend that so we can dig a little bit further and then get a land, which we'll play. And we'll attack with both of these. They'll block our 2-3. No, they won't. Okay. What enchantments could they be playing? Okay, well, our opponent just passes the turn. We're going to play this Path of Discovery and a Golgari Guildgate, so I guess we're going to go ahead and attack with all of these and see what happens. Our opponent can't settle the wreckage us. Seal away, okay. Likely on Wildgrowth Walker. Yep, there he goes. That's why we still want to Path of Discovery rather than getting back this Jade Light Ranger. And we're going to be able to Carnage Tyrant next turn, which I imagine our green-white opponent's not going to like too much. Maybe they have Settle the Wreckage. I suppose that we will find out. And it doesn't seem like a Settle the Wreckage deck. They still resolving this or they miss? Oh, they missed. That's no good. Our opponent can double block, so we won't do that. We'll just get this Carnage Tyrant out. We are going to put this into our graveyard. I think we can do better. I think we can find something better than Seeker Squire. A Planeswalker would be great. Wouldn't mind another Wild Growth Walker. Okay. An aura spell that targets it. Create a 3/3 beast. Well, let's go attacking with our Carnage Tyrant. So we're going to play this Fine Broker to put some more power onto the battlefield. We're just going to get this Seeker Squire back. And put the Landware Elves into our graveyard. Seeker Squire. Draw a land. Excellent. Double Explore, since of course Seeker Squire explores on their own. So we're really going to just try to make our opponent block with less than 4 toughness worth of something. So probably like this, we'll just go attacking and they'll block here. We'll Assassin's Trophy, and then we'll kill our opponent. Sure. And Assassin's Trophy on the Druid of Horns. The drawbacks are real for Assassin's Trophy and Standard, but it's still powerful. Alright, back for game number 2. This is a slow hand, as our deck is wont to do with a bunch of these bad lands. Not bad lands, those would be good. We are going to keep this hand because we have a lot of Explore. And we're on the draw, so we really just need a come to play untapped land at some point. Ideally on the next turn, so we can Seeker Squire maybe another land, District Guide to another land. Thought Erasure? Okay. And they're taking a Seeker Squire very quickly. Which of course we draw another one. Which is what you get for playing discard spells, I would know. Okay. Let's Seeker Squire. Essence Scatter? Okay. They're really trying to keep us off these lands, which has not worked so far. Alright. Are you going to counter District Guide? Yes, you are. Okay. Exile it at that. Okay. Nicol Bolas. The Ravager. Let's discard. We don't want to discard. I guess we're going to discard the Find Broker. We'll get it back later with Find Finality. And we'll play Jadelight Ranger since this is the only graveyard and there's a land. I mean, if we can kill this Bolas, then uh-oh. I might not be killing the Bolas. Our opponent is grinding themselves out as they're grinding us out, so Well, we're certainly going to attack. Moment of craving. Okay, well. I guess we're going to play Crafter then. If you insist. I actually feel like we're in a pretty good position. Unless our opponent plays another Nicol Bolas. They don't. So, we're going to play Vraska, see if this resolves. It does very quickly resolve. We're not going to get rid of anything though. Okay. Oh, decline. So, our opponent's out of cards. We have the Eldritch Reborn. We have another Vraska. We can find Finality. We'll definitely get back a Find Broker and probably a Seeker Squire so we can play the Seeker Squire. But I actually just want to get this Vraska into play now while our opponent has one card in hand. We're not going to get rid of anything. Bolas. Okay. Let's get rid of this Carnage Tyrant because it provides the least amount of value. We really need that to be an untapped land. Alright. We'll return a Seeker Squire and a Find Broker. We'll play the Seeker Squire. We'll go ahead and put this in our graveyard. We can loop these. Our opponent can flip Bolas, but we can still kill it. So, deal 10 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Let's sacrifice this Seeker Squire here. Because, I mean, they're going to be able to flip this. Which they're going to quickly going to do. I imagine they're going to kill our Vraska. Deal it 10 damage. I'd rather them do that than draw 2, I think. Just because they'll start drawing more Boluses and it's going to be a whole thing. See, that's not what we wanted. We don't want them to do that specifically. Imagine they sacrifice this Bolas, flip this one. Yeah.
I will make you suffer.
I'll sacrifice a swamp. Getting to 7 mana is quite unfortunate. Yep. They're going to do this whole song and dance. Run us out of cards. It is going to be difficult for us to escape, unfortunately. We'll decline to sacrifice anything. At least potentially try to put some pressure on this Bolas. Control Soot. Okay, no such luck. Imagine they're going to come after Vraska, yeah.
I'm still here.
So they have no creatures. we are going to get back a... We get back a Chupacabra. Kill that. Bolus is at 5. Takes 3 to get it back. Maybe we should get back the Carnage Tyrant. That's probably the thing that's most difficult for them to deal with. Let's put the Wild Growth Walker in our graveyard. I don't think we want that one. And I'll turn the other Fine Broker, and we'll just try to loop Fine Brokers if we can. Sacrifice a swamp. Okay. Okay, so trophy's good. Now, our opponent is likely going to have a counterspell by now, which is part of the problem. But we may just be able to attack and kill Bolus here. Let's try. This should do it. I can take 7.
You cannot stop me.
Okay, so we'll play our Wild Growth Walker. Maybe we shouldn't have done that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. We'll sacrifice the Wild Growth Walker. Basically, I don't want us to get caught by Syncopate for 1. Our opponent has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So right now they can Syncopate for 1. If they play another land, they can have Syncopate for 2. Which would ruin us. Okay. So, Negate. Negate can get us. Nope. They do not have Negate. Nor does it seem like they have Syncopate. Another Bolus. Okay, well they can't flip it. We'll discard this Land War Elves. We really need to draw a Chupacabra. Twilight Prophet doesn't exactly do it. I think we can probably just go to combat. We're not going to use this last mana. We can get back the Eldritch Reborn and discard this Twilight Prophet. We can play Twilight Prophet to block for Vraska. Then we have to discard Golgari Fine Broker. That seems bad. That seems like a very low chance of working play. I think we should have to get back to Eldritch Reborn again. Hope to avoid a counterspell. It seems like they didn't have Negate last time, so I guess small positives.
Regret that.
2 boluses in. If we can get rid of this third one. It's pretty tricky because, I mean, they can't get rid of this Carnage Tyrant. So... Fine Broker. Oh, to get back Bolus. Oh, that's clever. It's not going to work. Discard the Twilight Prophet. So they can sacrifice Bolus. Maybe. I mean, they can keep grinding us out with value. Let's see how they do this. I mean, they can get rid of it. They can block, double block. Okay. So we'll play this forest, tap the forest, plus on Vraska, sacrifice forest, find a removal spell? No, still not. Okay. Eldritch Reborn it is. Alright. They can keep doing the song and dance. We have to come up with a removal spell for their Bolus at some point, so they can't keep looping them.
The multiverse is at my disposal.
Though they can get back the Fine Broker to get back Bolus again. Make us discard the Foul Orchard.
Nothing to me.
I mean, honestly... Okay, so we found a removal spell. So let's see if we can trick our opponent. Attack Bolus. If they double block, we can kill one of them. Okay.
Starting to annoy me.
Alright. Kill Bolus here. You can get a land if you want. I think we sacrifice Fine Broker, so we can get back Fine Broker to get back Eldritch Reborn.
An unfortunate casualty.
Vraska sounded very British right there. Anybody else notice that? So they can attack Vraska for 3. I think we have to play a land. We can't afford to hold up nothings. All right, we've gone through 3 boluses. Don't have a 4th, please. Okay, that's annoying. We can't discard Tyrant. Okay, so we get back Fine Broker. Which can get back the Eldritch Reborn. Which is here. Play this so we don't discard it. Play the Eldritch Reborn. Sacrifice that. Attack here. We might just be able to do this. We might be able to outgrind this Grixis opponent that has 3 times the number of lands we have. That's Kanta. Process Contempt. Okay, that's going to gain them 1 life. Or put them to 1 life, essentially. Notion Rain. They can't cast that. I would like if they did, but they cannot. Imagine they're just going to pitch it. Okay. Essence Scatter. Okay. They can get back Plague Crafter, make us sacrifice Carnage Tyrant, but then we get Carnage Tyrant back. Fine Broker. Get back Bolus. No, get back Eldritch Reborn. Okay, I mean... we're just going to do the same thing. Ugh, come on. How do I have that last bolus? Ugh. I mean, I think we have to kill it. Because otherwise, they flip it next turn. They're just going to get back anyway is the problem. How can we get through this last little bit of damage? If we're going to have Twilight Prophet live a turn... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have Twilight Prophet live a turn that could do it, but they won't live a turn is the problem. And then we also lose our Fine Broker loop. Yeah, I'm gonna burn a timeout here. I think we have to just get Carnage Tyrant since they can't deal with it very easily. And hope to try to hit them for 1. Just 1. Angrat the Flame Chained. Alright, in that case, I'm gonna play this land. Guess I was gonna do that anyway with Eldritch Reborn. How can I hit them for 1? All I want to do is hit them for 1. I have that stupid Vraska's Contempt, which they didn't deserve and they knew it. So they can flip Bolus and play Angrath.
My power is boundless.
It is, isn't it? You've come back for the 4th time. I'm really sick of it. Man. You need one less Bolus in the top half of their deck. Yep. There they are. What are we getting? Moment of Craving. So now I get him for 3. I can't imagine you can play Angrath, because then you can't hold up this Moment of Craving that you so desperately want to. Well, we're gonna start to lose because I don't have the so they have to shrink one of their own creatures? No, they don't. What am I talking about? Yeah, we're just dead. We're just dead. Even if we didn't attack, we can't beat Eldritch Reborn plus Bolus. The Eldritch Reborn plus the Eldest Reborn for the I don't know how many time. It's great art though. Give it that. You can't really appreciate it on the card, but once you can see the full scope.
This is unmatched. No fire, no steam.
I will say I feel pretty good going toe-to-toe with this deck with the budget deck that we have. But I think that's gonna do it. We'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and pack this one in. I'll give my opponent a good game, as it was a good game. Yeah, now they're at 5. Oh man, so disappointing. All right, we're 1-1 after that very difficult last one. I feel fine about this hand. It's okay to have lands, a bunch of lands. We have Vraska in our deck, which will usually cycle through those. Ooh, Land War Elves. We will play this on turn 1 so we can play a turn 2 Jade Light Ranger. If they kill it, then we'll revert to plan A, I guess. Looks like they have elected to not do so. So we will revert to plan B A. We just play Jade Light Ranger. 2 lands, no problem. I do like lands. Well, this Blade Crafter is going to be really good, so I'm excited about that. Let's go ahead and get the Twilight Prophet down. At least we can attempt to attack through the air. Maybe get the City's Blessing quickly. Though I feel like our opponent has a way to interact with this Twilight Prophet. Ah, there it is. Opponent surveilled 2 lands away. That's pretty good for them. No blocks. I'll hit them back for some. Lifelink is quite annoying, though. I don't feel the need to get rid of this Land War Elves quite yet. We do have some larger things. Larger converted mana cost cards in our deck. And we can get quite grindy, as we saw in the last game. So I think, okay, all right. Now you're getting a little crazy. Okay, Vraska is a good start. We do need to destroy this Legion Lieutenant, however, as if we don't, we could be in danger of simply biting the dust. Oh, they had the City's Blessing. That's no good. That's not what we want. They will have to attack with all of their creatures. Really just 3 of them. We're not going to be attacking back, so we're going to go ahead and block. Since Frost is going to have to bite the dust. We're going to need to get a Chupacabra to deal with the Prophet. There's another Vraska, which our opponent won't be able to kill, so let's go ahead and start drawing some cards. Nothing else to play. Vraska's not going to live too long. 2 turns. We might live less if we can't find an answer to the Twilight Prophet. Especially with a flipped Legion's Landing, which is what they're going to do this turn. Yeah. This one might be quick. Looks like our opponent has decided they do not care about Vraska and they would rather kill us. Interesting play. Let's sack this swamp. See what we can come up with. Looks like about nothing. We'll get our own Twilight Prophet, though I don't believe we're going to live long enough to see the fruits of its loins. Especially if this flips anything that is any mana cost, like 4. Yeah. We are very dead. We're the deadest. Alright, we are 1 and 2 fighting back. The mana's actually good. The mana's quick. We have turn 1 play with Foul Orchard, and then we can have untapped lands as needed on curve. We do have our 1 copies of Vraska's Contempt. And it looks like we're going to need it. So the goal here, obviously, is live, and hope our opponent doesn't have a runaway Steamkin this turn. Okay, alright. Well, that is the opposite of what we asked our opponent to do. However, they've made it clear they are unruly and do not care about our feelings or the cards that we want them to play at all. Now, if they cannot play 3 red cards this turn, I would appreciate that. And I mean, don't play 4. You can't play 3 at all. Like, play 1. I think it's fair. Okay. Looks like 0 so far. 0's even more fair. Yeah, 0's fine. 0's fine. I didn't think they would do 0. And we're going to get an untapped forest here. Each one of our lands is going to play untapped for the rest of the game, if possible. So, I imagine our District Guide's going to bite the dust, which is fine. We're going to Ravenous Chupacabra this runaway Steamkin on our next turn. And it's definitely not going to be easy for us to make a comeback. Okay, that helps a tremendous amount. Our opponent not having a 3rd land to get their Chain Whirlers in play, which no doubt will happen for the remainder of the game. We're going to have to play things into Chain Whirler, notably Land War Elves, but we'll try to make sure it's not more than 1 thing at a time, if we can help it. The next sizable threat our opponent plays, maybe that might count, unfortunately. Our opponent's going to attack us to 10. Okay. Vivian's not bad. I would have preferred Vraska. I don't know if we can afford to play Vivian is the issue. I think we have to play this Land War Elves and then pass the turn holding Vraska's Contempt. Hope our opponent doesn't have another land to play Goblin Chain Whirler, which is why we can't play this Branchwalker. If it doesn't hit when it explores, then we can't afford to lose 2 cards of Chain Whirler. So then our opponent's deciding, should I use this removal spell, this shock, on Landmar Elves, or just draw a land next turn and Chain Whirler it? Okay, so he decided to draw a land. Hopefully they did not do that. They did. Alright, so here comes Chain Whirler. Yep. Song as old as time, I guess, right? Well, we're going to Vraska's attempt... Vraska's Contempt to the Chain Whirler. Gain 2, take 3, go to 8. Okay. No, this is good, though. Wild Growth Walker into Merfolk Branch Walker. Okay, land is fine. Okay, that was a good development. Now, I didn't want to draw a land here because we're going to get Chain Whirlered again. I'm sure of it. But Wild Growth Walker is a problem card for them. A pretty big one. So if they have the means to kill it, that's something that they just have to do. Now if they attack with both of these creatures, well, I guess they could just kill it with their Fanatical Firebrand plus a Lightning Strike of some sort. Either Wizard's Lightning or Lightning Strike proper. Vivian next turn, we can search for a 2-drop and then play that. We have a 1 of Vivian Reed that we were able to get as a individual card reward, which is great. It's actually a very useful card. They're just going to the face. That makes me very uncomfortable. It's very risky for them to do. They're basically saying, do they have a Explore card? And we are sure going to try to look for one. We have a lot of hits. We have a lot of hits. Come on. Come on. Come on.
The wilds are my shield.
Okay, we did not find one. We did find another walker, which we can play. So, obviously no attacks. Our opponent could have a risk factor, which would be a problem. I don't think they have anything that can deal us 5. They don't have like Lava Axe or anything. Okay. Well, we have to let them draw. But this does give us a window to find a Jade Light Ranger would be best case scenario. That would gain us a ton of life. Wizard's Lightning. Wow, they're... Can they kill us? Are we dead? One. Land Firebrand. I mean, if they got it, they got it. Land. Firebrand. Okay. All right. It's close. We needed probably 1 more point of life. Shame. Shame. All right. Well, we needed 1 and 3. Obviously not what we wanted, but it's a work in progress, which is why constructed is more difficult than limited for us, because obviously we're not quite on an even playing field. But, you know, I think we have a Golgari deck and an Izzet deck that we can continue to work on. So those are going to be my 2 primary focuses. I'm kind of going to go back and forth. The reason I'm not just sticking with one is I don't think it's really fun for you guys if you just keep saying the same deck like every week. So we're going to try to go back and forth, and eventually maybe we'll throw some other things in the mix. Let's see what we get. All uncommons. Well, there's our fourth Chupacabra, so that's not bad. Maybe we could throw that in the deck too. But it looks like this is kind of what we deserved, was one win, although maybe things would have gone differently with the our Grixis opponent. I do want to point out that the goal for this is 4 wins. 4 wins both gets you your money back, which is 500 gold, and gets you at least 1 rare. 6 wins gets you 2 rares, and those are kind of the 2 things that you're looking for. You really want to get to 4 wins because we essentially spent 300 gold to get a Ravenous Chupacabra, which is not super great. So you really want to I mean, obviously win as many as possible, but 4 is the goal. 4 is going to be our goal in general for next time and going forward. But thank you guys for watching so much. We'll try to do better next time, kind of alternating. Sometimes you just have rough days in Magic, and it's difficult for me to record because I'm, it's a little bit different than for those of you that watch on Commander Versus, because this takes a lot more focus in playing actual Magic where you're going through your lines rather than just trying to be fun all the time. So, but thank you guys for watching so much. If you liked this content, make sure to subscribe to this channel to get more of the free-to-play MTG Arena series by me. You can also find Ali Aintrazi posting his brews and some of his other crazier decks on the Thinktwice YouTube channel as well. Throw in a like on this video if you liked it, a comment if you have some comments about it. We'd love to hear about those. And if you want to check out the Thinktwice podcast, you can find it on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, Stitcher, and now Spotify. If you want to support the show, go to patreon.com/ThinktwiceMTG. That's it for this week, guys. I will catch you next time.